Welcome to a space where we talk about life, death, and legacy, because your final chapter matters just as much as your first. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you're joining me. And if you've been here before, you already know. This is where we keep it real about wealth, mortality, and the stuff no one teaches us growing up. Most people don't know this, but 70% of families lose their wealth by the second generation. By the third, 90% of it's gone. Not because of market crashes, not because of bad luck, not because they didn't care, but because most families never prepare their heirs for what to do with the wealth. Today, we're going to fix that. We're going to break down why wealth disappears so fast, what wealthy families do different, and how you can make sure your money, values, and vision last long after you're gone. So, let me ask you something. If your family inherited everything you worked for tomorrow, would they know what to do with it? Most people think, I've got a will, a trust, some assets, we're good. But here's the truth. Wealth without preparation is just money on a countdown. Wealth disappears because most families treat inheritance like a transaction and not a transformation. Your kids might get the house, the grandkids might get the money, but if they don't understand what it took to build it, emotionally, financially, psychologically, they won't know how to keep it. And eventually, it'll belong to someone else. And that's exactly what happened to a family I worked with a few years ago. We'll call them the Joneses. Mr. Jones had built a multi-million-dollar business from the ground up. Real estate, investments, a foundation, it was all there. But when he suddenly died, something even more tragic happened. His wife had no clue where the financial documents were. His kids started arguing about who would run the business. The estate got caught up in probate, and eventually the company folded. And within a few years, everything that they had was gone. And even when the grandsons ended up working minimum wage in that same company his family used to own. And that might have been prevented, but because Mr. Jones never taught them how to carry the legacy forward, it stopped with him. And that's not a legal mistake, that's a psychological one. So, I'll say it again. Generation 1 builds the wealth. Generation 2 spends the wealth. Generation 3 loses the wealth. Why? Because wealth doesn't transfer itself, and money without mindset is just a ticking time bomb. When you pass down assets without passing down alignment, you're setting up the next generation for confusion, conflict, and collapse. Because money is easy to pass on, but discipline, purpose, vision, that takes conversation, repetition, and practice. If your family isn't emotionally and financially equipped to handle your wealth, they won't. So, what do the ultra wealthy do that regular families don't? 1, they teach wealth early. They don't wait till the kids in their 20s or 30s to talk about investing. They give them small accounts and they make them explain every decision they make. And you can do the same thing. Set up a mock trust or host a financial family night and give them a little bit to manage, coach them through it. Number 2, they use structured wealth transfer, not lump sums. They don't just hand over millions and millions. They use incentivized trust and multi-tiered payouts. Even if you're not ultra wealthy, you can create a trust that releases funds based on age, behavior, or milestone. Number 3, they normalize legacy meetings. Annual family summits, PowerPoints, lunches with advisors. They make legacy part of the family culture. You can schedule a yearly conversation with your family, review your values, assign roles, build clarity before the crisis comes. Because wealthy families don't just hand over money. They hand over responsibility and a roadmap. Most people think that wealth transfer is a financial problem, but it's mostly an emotional one. And here's what heirs struggle with most. Number 1 is guilt. They don't feel like they've deserved it, like they've earned it. Number 2 is family conflict. Why'd they get more? Why'd I get less? Number 3 is fear. What if they mess up with all this money they've got? What if they can't handle the inheritance? And that can turn into stress and secrecy. So the solution? Start talking about emotions and expectations now. Give your family permission to ask you questions, to be human, and to learn from you while you're still here to guide them. All right, let's make this real. Here's your mission, so you choose to accept it. In the next 24 hours, write down one financial lesson you wish you were taught early. Then share it with someone in your family. A text, a voice memo, a note in the group chat, doesn't matter how, but do it. Because your money is only as strong as the mindset that carries it. So talk about it. Train for it. Leave a comment. I read every single one. Hit like if it makes you rethink your strategy. Subscribe for more real talk on wealth, psychology, and legacy, because your final chapter matters just as much as your first, and you don't get a second chance at a better ending. See you in the next one.